Clap it. John likes his clap for the edits.
What inspired you to want to be in business for yourself? Were you exposed to that anywhere, or was it always kind of just in you?
I mean, I like working for myself, but a lot of it is circumstance too. Like a lot of people don't. You want to always give something or someone credit. Sometimes that's why we have a hard time understanding privilege. Like privilege is like things that just are there for you. It's like a floor. It's not your fault. Just a knowledge is there.
Sure.
That's all it is. So, I mean, not to go too deep, but I did, and before you try to get mad at me, I always pay my taxes. But I'm an immigrant. I came here not knowing my mom. I mean, she was an adult, but she didn't understand the complexity of immigration. She thought we were gonna come here and be able to show up to an office and say, hey, we want to register, give us my green card, and go on our day.
Right.
Obviously,
there's no manual to tell you how, right?
There's an eligibility thing.
Right.
There's millions of people coming in and just thousands of, you can't let everybody. Like, I understand that. But, for a long part of my youth, I didn't think about it too much, but it did affect how I lived, which is like I wasn't eligible.
Okay.
As long as you don't commit a crime and you don't, and if you get a job, I mean, even illegally, I found a way to get paychecks and pay my Medicare, Social Security. I never got to claim it, but that's the price you pay. That's what happens. I'm not mad at it. But I spent a long time being an illegal. You don't wake up every day thinking about it.
Right.
But I was one of those people.
That's so interesting, and I feel like that's a journey that a lot of people don't have, and people take for granted that are here in a work.
I think that's one of my biggest pushes too. Like, there's a lot of stuff. So, I mean, I can say that as long as I've had a green card, I've never worked for anybody.
Wow.
Before that, though, Dunkin' Donuts, JJ Box. Shout out to JJ Box, my uncle's business.
So what are your favorite and least favorite parts of being in business for yourself?
Well, my favorite part is none. No, I'm joking. I mean, the pros obviously is being your own boss and moving at your own speed, because you define success. So you have to succeed every day. Success is not like this. Thing is like, I have to succeed today, meet my goals today as part of obviously a bigger plan, but it's like about surviving today. So I'm, and moving at your own pace and not feeling unproductive when you gotta sit back and take a breather for 2 hours. You can't really do that. And if you're a laborer or if you're even in corporate, even if you're on a senior level, you still gotta. There's a lot to the politics, you know what I mean? So work. I mean, you can slack, but like if you really care about what you're doing and you're, I guess you work for yourself on something you love and there's a passion, and there's something that you would do for free if you didn't have to eat, or had dependents and you didn't have this. People got a lifestyle to adjust to after certain income anyway. But if you didn't have to worry about those things, if you can still love what you're doing, you get excited, and your reward is not just the invoice, but like just sitting with a client and watch the first cut for the first time, and going, oh, like just those little things, those are rewarding still. Yeah. So like it's kind of like you're still in the right business.
What advice would you give young you now? Or someone maybe that thinks they want to get into this and thinks they want to work for themselves?
Stick with your gut, but don't close your mind. I mean, I might have lost opportunities by saying no to a few things. Okay. But then I think I do owe where I am right now to those same things. So maybe not change who I was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I was a young me, I'd be like, I really don't have much more else to say. Just just stick to your gut. For someone else right now with technology, it's hard because I didn't come up. So me, like, like one of the examples I gave you was making the video, right? That was like a glimpse, but that's it. I didn't have Google. There was like going to the library. I didn't even think about that. Going to the library and reading about video, and even so, it's
then,
different.
Who knows what even was available at that
Being
time.
around and seeing and capturing things with your own mind is different. So I don't know. Right now, for someone just starting,
or even like business pitfalls, like things that you learned the hard way. It could be with contracts, dealing with difficult clients.
Yeah, set your terms. You gotta set your terms, and I know sometimes it does take dealing with a few people.
Well, I know you've dealt with some stuff because shout out to Ashley, one of the first employees that I had at my music school when we first got started. I remember story. So the Ashley story, just for all of y'all that don't know, it's one of my favorite stories. Notice that I'm taking a giant sip as I go to explain this. But in short, I was in the middle of dealing with a ton of different things from starting a business, and Ashley was brought on to help me. And we'd known each other for a while from school, and she came back, wanted to get into music after college, and I said, hey, will you reach out to Edwin? We have a video we're going to shoot, just do some follow-up with him. And I remember her face, and she sat behind the computer, and she looked up and said, I don't know if I did something, and wanted to know why you were so mean to her. And I was like, Edwin, what? I was like, you must have the wrong person. What are you talking about? And the email back said, and I'm paraphrasing, something like, I don't know who you are. I don't talk to nobody but Christine. You can have Christine call me. I ain't talking to you. Who is you? And went off, and Ashley was like, did I do something wrong?
That was very, reactive. Who the is this? And why are you talking to me?
But the reason being is there have got to be a ton of people that are these clowns
I'm sorry,
that waste
Ash.
your time. I know, we're so sorry. Ashley knows.
We made up.
Ashley's
We
long
made up
forgiven
for it.
you.
Yeah,
And you recently did her music video.
Yes, we did.
So Madame Mondestin, for anyone out there who's curious, was her debut
She was
single.
a really good sport.
She was great. She's fantastic. It's so funny, though, the way paths will cross throughout life. I mean, that happened like 7-8 years ago. and here we are, and now she's a client for you. I mean, it's the funniest thing. But anyway, all of these people that you deal with, I'm sure there's so many people that waste your time and aren't serious about their business.
Yeah.
And that's what results in kind of that no-nonsense mentality and like quick delivery of who are you, state your name, state your business, we're moving.
You should have consistency in your answers. Like that email, like I meant no harm, and luckily it was you guys. This could have been an email from someone at Universal, and I talk to people in higher places like that, and when they approach me about it, obviously I didn't mean it. I'm not a rollover, but I do like, oh, I'm sorry, because face to face is different.
Sure.
Like I felt really bad for her, but I just didn't know. And that's the thing about emailing and texting is like
there's no tone. You never.
That's why I push clients to meet with me. Like I don't. Well, we'll just show up on the day of the shoot, and I'm like, let's talk.
I loved that you
let's
did
have
that
a
when
pizza.
we first started working together.
We need to have a pizza or something.
A lot of people don't want to be bothered, but there has to be.
No,
I think
I'm
that
too busy for that too. But that's what helps you. So now when you write an email, it's not just a name; it's a face, and it changes your behavior.
Right. And also, so you know who you're dealing with. Because if somebody's a
That's
clown,
true.
like let me know over some pizza before I waste my time.
And
that
that's
you're just a
okay.
clown. So like in this area, like you're the guy. You've carved out your own way from nothing to something. And when I see some like your post on social media, and I'll be like, you in a helicopter somewhere in LA, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing now? Like, it's so cool. You were flown to, was it Jamaica?
Yeah, Jamaica, Barbados, Mexico.
People literally will fly
Trinidad
you out
and Tobago
for your talent, just because you have something that is special to contribute. There are a million videographers between Bridgeport, Connecticut, and there, and they come to you still.
That's a good point. So let's go back to advice. So now that we know, the social media is no longer this like, where do I go to? Like you can find everything on Google. You can Google everything, right? Obviously you can't Google talent, but you can Google.
Thank God for
if
that.
you're talented, well you can't. If you're talented enough at something and you think you can pursue the structure of it, right? But I'm not the greatest videographer. There might be somebody that's way better than me, might be better equipment or close enough equipment or doing a great job, but they just don't have the right attitude, or it's not their time yet, or they haven't figured it out. It's a lot of stuff, like I said, is random. Like you just gotta you gotta work hard and do what you're supposed to do. But some things are random. I mean, without that, it would be
But
kind
you
of
being
boring.
out there in the field and working is why the random finds you.
Yeah.
Those opportunities find you because you're out there working.
What's I might be paraphrasing. I don't know who said it, but I do try to tell it to myself, which is, there's no luck. It's just being prepared for the opportunity. Because opportunities come, but if you're not ready...
Kids, write it down!
Don't write it down. Google it, no. But that is this luck is that when those things meet, when there's the opportunity.
When opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah, and there we go.
So how about some of these big names, the names that people will recognize in some of those bigger shoots? Like, what is that experience like?
They're good, they're humbling, but they also do remind me that I'm glad that I stick to my guns.
Will some of these bigger names literally offer you exposure and not money?
Not in those words, but obviously people are in a better position and they don't really. I mean, if somebody's doing a tour and they're moving around like crazy, they do if they're busy.
Right.
People don't know the amount of busy people can get and how overwhelming it can be. For bigger acts, it's just sometimes it's just not meant to be. Because I have an asking price, and I'm not asking you for more than I'm asking someone that might be an electrician by day, or someone that might even work at Dunkin' Donuts by day, and they scrape every dollar to get an Escobar film.
Right.
And then if you come to me as I get it, you're a big name. Obviously, it is exposure, but I'm a mom and pops. Like, you can't walk.
The price is the price.
I'm not charging you more. I'm charging you what it is, and there's always the
And you could charge more because that's just business. But I would think some of these people that have a bigger budget, I mean, it would give me no greater pleasure from being on the other side of it than to have a huge budget and be able to more than afford and more than compensate someone for their talents.
But it's principle at both ends. Like if somebody, $1,500 for someone like, for example, Mano, like that, come on, they drink that in the night.
Yeah.
But it's the principle to them too, and you have to respect that. To them, it's like, well, you should be like very happy because they don't know me. You don't get to see how long I've been doing this anywhere. You see a few videos I did. They're not gonna watch more than 3 videos. They don't got that kind of time.
Right.
They're gonna look at the top hits with the most views, whatever way. And then my bio is I don't have a bio. I just have a business little page. So you can expect them to know you. They're not here to find out your struggle. They just think, they don't know when you started working. They don't know anything. They just know you're worth something. I know if I got that phone call, that means I'm doing something right. So that's the beginning.
You've learned it. You didn't need to read a book. You didn't need to go to school for it, but you learned it from doing it.
Yeah, from being screwed over a lot and then just put it on paper. Oh, I don't like this. So don't do that. That's what a contract is. Oh, wow, I didn't like that. Don't do that. Oh, I didn't like that. So my contract is basically the shit that people did to me.
Your contract has grown over the years.
Yeah, and it's still only a page and a half after 1,000 videos. That's not bad.
Not at all.
I should have a big.
But I agree. Like those contracts, like they come from somewhere. When you read those crazy terms and conditions, it's every time a small business owner has been screwed over ends up as a new line item in that contract until we are protected from assholes.
So even like if you go back to advice and stuff like that for anybody that will start any business too, it's like, okay, you set your terms. That was the first item, right? Know what you are willing to do and what you're not willing to do. And you don't have to talk about what you're willing to do. Just put in ink what you won't do. Because that's the things that are going to take you out of your creative element. And when you out of your creative element, that's it. Because your business is being creative.
Right.